Good morning. It is Thursday, February 5th, 2026. I am SirFelixTheCat, and this is Talk a Better Politics Morning Talk. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the news. So from yesterday, there's a new, I mispronounced this, Quinnipiac, whatever. It's a new poll from the university saying 61% of voters think the Trump administration has not given an honest account of the fatal shooting of Alex Pretti. The university national poll finds 58% of voters think DHS Secretary Kristi Noem should be removed. Let's just talk about that first part. Only 61% believe they're not telling the truth about what happened with Alex Pretti. Only 61%. We watched a federally funded execution happen on the streets in broad daylight. That is what happened. It was done by untrained, armed terrorists. And only 61% of people understand that. That is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. More than a week after nurse Alex Pretti was shot and killed by federal terrorist agents in Minneapolis, 61% of voters think Trump administration has not given an honest account of the incident, and 25% think the Trump administration has given an honest account of the incident. And 14% have no opinion, but that 25%, is that 25% just MAGA? Like people who will believe any stupid thing this Cheeto says? This Nazi lover. Because remember, Trump is a Nazi lover. He idolizes Hitler. He idolizes dictators. He wants to be one. He wants to get rid of our Constitution so he can be a dictator. It's absolutely ridiculous. An overwhelming majority of voters, 80%, think there should be an independent investigation into the shooting, while 15% don't think so. I guess I'd be in that 15% because we don't need an investigation. We need them all locked up and disbanded. We need that whole unit. Every person, every terrorist who set foot in Minneapolis needs removed. From the top to the bottom, those who sent them there need removed. Those who made sure ICE became what it is, that means Stephen Miller and Trump, need removed. We don't really need an investigation. Get rid of them. We have the evidence. We saw it with our own eyes from multiple angles. And the fact that instead of, letting making sure this guy got medical help after shot him 10 times, they decided to sit there and count the bullet holes because that was the best use of their time. They enjoyed the fact that they killed him. They enjoyed the fact that they were able just to unload a gun on an American citizen, an unarmed American citizen, because the gun, his legal firearm that he had on him, license to carry, was taken away well before the guy who had been stalking him for a few days decided to pull out his gun. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, it's vilely disgusting. 59% of voters think the recent ICE-involved shootings in Minneapolis are a sign of broader problems in the way ICE is operating. Again, that's another very low percentage. Only 59%. 32% think the shootings are isolated incidents. Bro, they've been happening all across the country. ICE has also been killing people in detention. These new detention centers they're buying, they spent hundreds of millions on. It's so they can kill more people behind closed doors. That's why they don't really want lawmakers going into these buildings. They don't want to see the fact that, oh yeah, we're just killing people. We're not taking care of them. We're putting them in just inhumane locations, just in cells that we created, some beds, like 50 people to a 5-person room, and let them die. It is disgusting. Yeah, and only 50% of voters think that she should be, Kristi Noem should be removed from her job. Like this, it's cool that the majority think that, but it's not the vast majority. Everything should be 80s, 90s, 100%. It should be 95% of voters think that ICE-involved shootings in Minneapolis are a broader side of problems to come. Because they are. After Kristi Noem, or not Kristi Noem, Renee Good was shot, Stephen Miller came out and basically let it be known to ICE agents, yeah, go ahead, shoot them all. That was your sign that, hey, bad things are coming. Nope. Only 50, just over half people think that that something should happen about it. It's gross. It is gross. Anyways, so I've talked a lot about California's millionaire tax, and I've given Gavin Newsom a lot of heat about it. But I guess I shouldn't. If he has the same ideas as Governor of Washington, Bob Ferguson. Washington millionaire tax would bypass voters, but Ferguson won't support it yet. Keyword there being yet. Where did it go? Ferguson noted the plan does too little to return money directly to taxpayers. Under the current proposal, he says only about 7% of roughly $230 million would go back to residents. Because he cares. He cares about the people who are getting screwed over by the ultra wealthy. Their tax is also a little bit higher. California was doing a one-time 5%. In Washington, for their millionaire tax bill, legislation would impose a 9.9% tax on individual income over $1 million. Then yeah, a majority of that should go back to the people. The people who have been getting screwed over because the millionaires have all these loopholes and they don't have to pay as much taxes. Look at Trump. He's currently, this douche, currently suing himself, his own administration, his IRS, because someone leaked his tax documents, which prove he doesn't pay much in taxes. Your life is worse because that douchebag doesn't pay his fair share of taxes. And that's what all these rich people have been doing. They get loophole. Republicans give them tax cuts, tax breaks. Oh, we're not going to make your company pay taxes either. Look, all the times Netflix has gone through and not paid taxes, not had to pay taxes. Look at what Warner Brothers did the other year when they canceled Batgirl as a tax write-off. That way they don't have to pay as much in taxes. Just write it off. It's gross. It is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. But yeah, hopefully, I hope this one goes through and I hope it does get better. I hope Ferguson can work something out to where it does help the people. Because that's who needs it. The companies don't need it. The rich don't need it. The people. The majority of the people who live in that state are the ones who need it. And we need more stuff like that. And we need it to be way stronger. Way stronger. Nationwide. All right. So this one kind of blew me away. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. We know Supreme Court is very much in Trump's pocket. They'll put every disgusting thing he wants, pretty much. Well, the Supreme Court lets California use its new Democratic-friendly congressional map. This is from when Gavin Newsom decided to go ahead and gerrymander California because Texas wanted to gerrymander the hell out of its map. And I guess Supreme Court saw, well, I mean, it's just in response to the other one that you guys want to push through, so I guess we have to allow it, which, interesting. Very interesting. That legitimately blew me away. Yeah, basically Republicans were fighting like, oh no, it's only fair if we do it. We've been using gerrymandering to ever get power at all for years. So why would we let Democrats do it? Well, sorry, but Gavin Newsom kind of did have the right idea. I don't like gerrymandering, but if they're going to go low, meet them there. Meet him there. The same way he treats Trump on social media. Trump goes and tries to bash every person alive. So Gavin Newsom mocks Trump, bashing him just as much, showing the fact that Trump is an idiot. If they're going to go low, meet them there. Screw it. Yeah, I understand that it used to be, when they go low, we remain high. We take the high ground. Yeah. Ever since the age of Trump politics, taking the high ground doesn't work anymore. People don't care about morals, apparently. That went out the window. We elected the most corrupt, evil person twice. Yeah, people don't care anymore. Sad. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. With the way that Texas is going so far, where they already lost 2 red seats, now California is going to get even more blue seats. This could be leading to the end of Republicans getting power, having control of the House and Senate. It could be done. Absolutely done. But this also brings up a question. This is something from back in January. There is another case that's been in play not as long that the Supreme Court needs to address because this has very big implications. A Supreme Court ruling could bring historic drop in Black representation in Congress. And we need to see that Supreme Court is not going to choose the Republican route. This is about the gerrymandering of southern states, namely Louisiana. Louisiana is gerrymandered to hell to basically keep Democrats out of office and keep every Black voter disenfranchised. And that is not cool. Again, this is against our Constitution. We're supposed to have representation. And if you're taking away Black vote, you're basically trying to squish it to it doesn't matter. You're not giving the people representation. Again, I go on about how, the left doesn't have true representation in our government, but they need some representation. They deserve just as much as everybody else. We deserve to have proper Asian representation. Everything. And we shouldn't allow racists to keep people down. Racism needs to end, dude. That is the most closed-minded bullshit thing you could be, as a racist. So basically, everybody in this government, you are the most closed-minded, disgusting people to exist. Racism should go away. Okay. Yeah, but I'm keeping an eye on that Louisiana case with Supreme Court, hoping we get an answer to it eventually. All right. Trump administration attorney leaves Minnesota after telling judge her job sucks amid crush of immigration cases. Yeah, when you're trying to defend people who are pure evil and everyone on the planet can see they're pure evil, yeah, your job sucks. And you should probably find a good job. You should probably join the side that's, fighting these people, because then you know what it feels like to have a good job, doing good for the country. Defending these people, defending this administration, the hell's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You are a lawyer. You can go find a job. You can go find a job at a lot of law firms, a lot of good law firms that do things for good. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Julie Lee thinks her job sucks. I agree. And she sucks for taking it, for doing it still, for not leaving. And then we had something that blew up on TikTok, of all places. Maxine Waters, can you shut him up moment with Scott Bessent. So they had Scott Bessent in front of, what was it? The House Financial Services Committee. And Scott Bessent being Trump's Treasury Secretary, a guy who frequently lies and twists definitions to sound like Trump's doing good, though everything Trump's doing to the economy is terrible. And we probably shouldn't have Scott Bessent anywhere near a position of power. Someone who's just going to suck up to Donald Trump for no reason. Scott Bessent owes nothing to Trump. Anyways, yeah, while Maxine Waters, representative from California, was going on, let me find it. Waters noted the tariffs have caused certain prices to rise and asked Bessent, are tariffs inflationary? Bessent replies, according to the San Francisco Federal Reserve, with 150 years of data, tariffs do not cause inflation. Now, anybody with a brain would agree with Waters here, who disagreed, citing rising prices for certain goods such as coffee and bananas. Then she argued that some of the Trump administration's high tariffs were making homes less affordable at a time when the cost of buying a home feels out of reach to many Americans. One clear reason the housing crisis has grown worse is that the rest of the Trump administration levied tariffs on housing production goods like lumber and steel. And this is where Bessent decides to cut her off, saying, Congresswoman, lumber is at a 5-year low. Let's just have the facts. And so Waters says, reclaiming my time. After Bessent stopped talking, Waters demanded yes or no response to whether Bessent would serve as a voice of reason on affordability in the Trump administration. And Bessent, being the suck up he is, nope. He will die on the hill where he looks like a fucking moron just to defend Trump. Defend Trump's policies, which screw over people. He gets off on the fact that the people in this country are being screwed over by this moron. That's who Scott Bessent is. Someone who gets off on the fact that people who are not well off like he was born well off, that people less fortunate than him are getting fisted daily by Trump. He loves it. Absolutely loves it. He comes back with, you seem confused as to the definition of inflation. The biggest reason for the housing increase was the massive unfettered immigration you let in. Okay, so he responds with a bullshit lie. There was no unfettered immigration anybody let in. Basically, what he's trying to say is, oh, well, you're not racist like we are. You don't just keep only white people in this country, so you're the problem. That's why inflation's bad. That's why housing prices are high. According to this racist prick. It's because of us, because we're not racist. We're not bigots. We're not pure hate-filled douchebags. That's why everything's expensive. And in response to that, Waters demanded, can you shut him up? And Bessent, the douchebag he is, replies, can you maintain some level of dignity? It'd be nice if we lived in a cartoon world, where like something bad can happen and you'll just pop back up from it. If we lived in a cartoon world, I want to see a steamroller go over this piece of shit. I mean, he'll pop back up afterwards. You just got to like inflate him with a bike pump or something like that. But it would be great to see. Would be great to see. But yeah. If you watch this hearing and you thought, he was smart, he gave facts, understand everything that came out of his mouth. Every time he opened his mouth, he was lying to you. He does not understand the economy if he thinks anything of what he said is true. That is not how life works. He is an absolute scumbag. All right, and then we have the funny story of the Trump team can't get its story straight on the president, Gabbard, and Fulton County. So the FBI did a raid on Fulton County's election offices to steal the voter rolls because they want to try to rig the next election, which they've been open about that. That's what they want it for. That's why he wants to nationalize the voting, at least in 15 blue states. That way blue states can't ever be blue again. Because obviously, if you didn't vote for Trump, you're not just the hardest, most devout Trump supporter. Well, then your vote's not real. Because everybody should love this guy who's done nothing good for anybody in this country, ever. There's not a single policy he's passed that's actually benefited the majority of Americans. I mean, go back many decades. There hasn't been a single Republican policy, period, that's helped anyone. It just doesn't. They don't care. And we have the most corrupt person in office. Anyways, yeah, there's mixed stories on why Gabbard was even there. What happened? Who was she on the phone with? Because the main story that we've been hearing is that she was on the phone with Trump, reporting everything to Trump, but she was hiding. But then she put him on speaker, and he gave a pep talk to all the agents who were doing it. Yet there were agents who were actively saying, why the hell are we here? Just so we get fired. They got fired for asking, why are we doing something that feels illegal? Because if you follow the law, you're kicked out of this administration. As we've seen time and time again with Trump. If you disobey him and his criminal efforts, you're kicked out of this government. Oh, since then, the administration has given conflicting accounts about how she is involved. Asked by CNN on Thursday what Gabbard was doing at an election center in Georgia, Trump said, she's working very hard on trying to keep the election safe. So she's taking data that you guys don't need from 2020 to keep this 2026 election safe. Well, again, this is Trump talking, so it's a lie. But in the days that followed, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche repeatedly downplayed her involvement. She happened to be president in Atlanta. He was the same douchebag who his response is, she wasn't there for that. She just happened to be there while that was going on. Just by coincidence. And then, he told Dana Bash, I don't know why the director was there. She's not part of the grand jury investigation. Could it be because you guys are trying to commit some big criminal act? So you got the head of the spies, the head of intelligence to work with you guys? I wonder. Yeah, basically, again, there are a bunch of criminals who should all be put in jail. I mean, what their efforts to overthrow an election again, to cheat in another election, we're at nothing short of treason. Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Whenever a form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. As in, this administration trying to continually destroy the country. They should be abolished. Alter or abolish. So yes, alter. Get impeachments going for every single piece of shit in this administration. Or abolish them all. Just straight up arrest them all. Put them all in prison. Put them all in a cell for treason. Because they are overthrowing the government. They're overthrowing their own government, which is moronic. We're letting this Cheeto grift us out of tax money constantly. This IRS lawsuit, $10 billion. You know who gets to decide the settlement amount? Trump. So Trump's asking for $10 billion, and And the person who gets to decide is Trump. So what's going to happen? Oh, Trump's going to get $10 billion of tax money from the government just to further put this government in debt. But, he doesn't take his paycheck, like every fucking idiot who supports this piece of shit has said multiple times. He does it for free. He doesn't take a paycheck. No, because he steals from us while grifting you dumbasses. He's made more as president than multiple presidents throughout history for all their terms. I mean, at this point, it might be more than every president combined. Billions and billions of dollars. And stupid people out there like MAGA, these red hats, think that's a good idea. That should be how it is, right? Right? It's going to make us all rich. Trickle down. God. And then this story's kind of interesting. And on a weird note, U.S. plans critical mineral price floors. I don't even know. That sentence doesn't make any sense. U.S. plans a mineral deal with Mexico, EU, and Japan to compete with China. It's called Project Vault. And it's basically, the whole goal of it is to reduce not just us, but all these united countries' reliance on China for minerals. And it's going to be interesting. China does own quite a bit. And it'll be interesting to see a partnership. Now, we're working with Mexico. We have people in our administration who are completely racist against Mexicans. So this could fall apart if any of them get involved. One of them being Trump. Horrendously racist. But we'll see. I am interested in this one. Also, where we're going to be getting these minerals from. Because if we have to buy them from China, we're not eliminating our dependence on China. So, it'll be interesting. Shares of critical mineral companies, MP Minerals and USA Rare Earth fell 10 to 20% respectively. Because, there's been a mineral shortage going on. I mean, go back a couple of years. I think this is either at the tail end of Trump's first term or is early in Biden's. But basically, it looked like we were going to have countries invade Jamaica for aluminum, because aluminum has become super rare. The world's in a bad place, and it just keeps getting worse because of these greedy pieces of shit. I mean, if AI keeps doing what it's doing, we're going to have water shortages. Just imagine that, water shortages. Because AI is using so much. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Story to keep an eye on. I'll pull it up every once in a while whenever we get more news on it. But that's really all I had for today. Couple rants. Few interesting stories. Always more to come. More in the video game world, which is exciting. Today is Nintendo Direct Day. Very excited for that. Anyways, I thank you guys for watching. Hope you all stay safe. I will be back tomorrow. And until then, you take care. Hey, thanks for watching this video. And if you could, please help us out and give us a like, maybe comment, and subscribe. Better yet, share our content. It's pretty dark times out there, and this is topics that people need to hear. It's what's best for our country. I mean, we're talking about better politics. And also, if you want, join our Discord. Carry on the conversation. It's a fun time. And until next time, you take care.